Yo, what is up? This is Julian, aka Delaluz, and today we're going to talk about how to make art while the world is burning. I know, this is kind of a sensitive topic, but once again, I would like to invite you to work on some kind of creative expression while you're listening. I actually did do something very similar in a little community gathering in my neighborhood a while ago. We were in a cafe, everybody had their drink, a little bit of cake, and the children of the neighborhood were playing music, and all the other kids and adults were drawing while they were playing, which created some very interesting interactions, because obviously there's a back and forth between the creation and the music and the environment. So please, if you would like, I'd invite you to work on whatever, but make it easy work. Don't practice anything that's too mentally challenging. Just something that flows very easily, and let's get into it. Now, I don't have to tell you that we are steering into quite difficult times. No matter where you're at in the world, most people are gonna have to go through a lot of hardship in the years and decades to come. And me personally, I don't think ignoring that is the best thing. You shouldn't wallow in it either, obviously. You should stay positive, in my opinion, and try to live and create as best as you can. But I do think there's a certain level of, a certain degree of acknowledgement that we should allow for what's unfolding right now. I'm going to speak from personal experience for a moment here. I've had this dream for the last 10 years or something now, that I'm gonna be a very successful and somewhat famous producer and DJ, and I'm gonna tour the world and play shows and make a lot of people dance and make them happy with my music, touch their hearts, which is still what I would very much like to do, but for the longest time that has been a kind of, first of all, egoical way of relating to that pursuit, to that goal, because a lot of why I wanted to do that was to kind of to show myself that I can do it, like I'm good enough to do all of this stuff. I'm sure you have encountered similar patterns in yourself to whatever degree. And the other thing was that a lot of my creating and a lot of my learning and a lot of my pursuit was very future oriented. I was always thinking like, oh, once I get to this level of success, once I get to tour the world, once I get to have this many people listening to my music, then I'll allow myself to feel successful, to feel content, to feel happy, to be satisfied with what I'm doing. And once again, I'm sure you can relate to that to a degree, or were able to relate to that. Maybe you've overcome it. That would be amazing. So in lieu of what's happening in the world at the moment and what's gonna happen in the next 10, 20, 30 years, I think all of these dreams of grandiosity and all of this attachment to some future point in time where you're going to have all the success and acknowledgement and adoration that you would like kind of crumble and fall away, because we don't know if the future will allow for these kinds of things. We just can't be sure. So what I've come to is that this is not necessarily a bad thing. I know at the surface, if you are similar to me and you've had these dreams of being this person, this successful version of an artist, this hurts. It hurts to acknowledge that it might not be possible, that it might not happen. And it's not just the environmental and social circumstances, it's also maybe that you realize you don't have that big of a passion for that art that the people have that get insanely good at what they do. There's a million different reasons why you might have to grapple with the fact that your dreams and ambitions and these future projections that you're so attached to might not come to fruition. But if we're being honest, that's all illusory. You're just attached to some version of the future that you conjured within your mind. And when you're able to let go of that, when you're able to let go of someday I'm gonna be better, someday I'm gonna be successful, someday I'm gonna be recognized, I'm gonna have all these things, then you can come back to the present. And I know this is kind of talked to death by current culture, by mindfulness culture, by spiritual teachers of all walks of life. But I want to invite you to reassess the idea of being present with what you do from this point of view. For myself, I've had a lot of dissatisfaction creating, playing, learning, because I always had this sense of I'm still not there. I'm still not there, or I'm not gonna make it, I'm not talented enough, I'm not progressing quickly, fast enough, whatever that means. So I basically made myself dissatisfied with my creative process, my creative journey. So if you've also noticed that the current events, to phrase it really broadly, might kind of mean that you're not gonna get where you initially set out to go, please use it as an opportunity. See it as the opportunity that it is to let go of all of those expectations all of those dreams, all of those attachments, and just listen to the music, enjoy the colors, feel the words in your heart. Make art for art's sake, for the enjoyment of sitting there and creating. Thank you. Catch you in the next one.